Hello, and welcome to English 4. I'm excited to be your teacher. My name's Mr. Chevalier. I've been teaching for 13 years, and I have taught seniors at Orangefield all of that time. I possess a Bachelor of Arts in English and a Master of Education in Teacher Leadership. As a side note, I've begun teaching myself some woodworking as a hobby in the last few years. I'm still just a beginner, and I make many mistakes, but I am really enjoying it, and that is if I don't get rained out. You will see things in the room and appear in the room throughout the year that I have been producing. I love teaching for a number of reasons. One of them is I need to feel that I have made a difference in my career and my life. And I love watching people grow and move out into adulthood. Each of you is in a special place in this moment in your life. And it's exciting and it's terrifying. And under the best of circumstances, it's all of those things. And certainly with our current year, we've got even more challenges, but I think we can make a great year. And part of making a great year is deciding you're going to make the best of it. Why do I teach English? Well, I love reading and writing. I'm not a math person. I do love science, but I can't do the math that is required for science. I love history, but I love English just a little bit more. So what is it you need for this class? I would say the first thing you need for this class is to make sure that you have a set of headphones or earbuds with a barrel jack that can be plugged into the Chromebooks. You will not be able to use Bluetooth on the Chromebooks once you get your school-issued Chromebook. We do use video a good deal in this class. We watch historic speeches, and also our new textbook program, our new textbook adoption. The program allows for you to listen to audio as you read along, and there's just a number of features throughout the year that you'll need sound for, but you'll need to only be able to hear it yourself. Also, if you're going back and reviewing videos in class that I have made, instructional videos, I don't like the sound of my voice, so I don't want to hear my own voice. You will need some pencils or a pencil and either a dark blue or a black pen occasionally. How much will be at question here. We're going to do most of our work through Google Classroom. Your device, your Chromebook, once you get it, and your device needs to be charged and ready to go. If you're using your own laptop at first and it uses a lot of juice, we can sort of work with that. But Chromebooks, once you get your school district Chromebook, they last all day. So you need to make sure you charge that every night. And most importantly, a willingness to work and achieve the communication and thinking skills that you'll need for the future, regardless of where you're headed. College, the workplace, the military. We're going to be working on communication and thinking skills throughout the year. Tutoring. I am available in many ways at many different times. I get to school early. I leave school late. I can meet with students before school. I can meet with them after school. I do have bus duty every day from 4 to 4:15, 4:20, but I'm happy to meet with students after that. If you have an 8th period off period, I'm happy to meet with you during my conference period, that off period of yours. If you have a class during 8th period, I will not let you come see me. I don't care if it's a class where you never do anything. You don't get to come to my class out of another teacher's class. So, just make sure of that. The important thing, though, is that you let me know you're coming. If you can't let me know you're coming, the best time to catch me is the 8 o'clock to 8:30 window, where I'm going to endeavor to be in my room during those set tutorial times. The rest of the time you need to let me know you're coming so I can make sure that I'm available for you. Remote learning students, those students who are not comfortable meeting with me in person, I'm more than happy to arrange a meeting with you, a tutorial with you through Google Meet. Just shoot me an email and we can set up a time and a date for that to occur, a date of the month for that to occur. I can also answer many questions by email. I am here for you to succeed. Also, your parents can contact me most easily by email, but also by a phone call to the school, and I will call them back. This year in particular, I anticipate we might have more of that. So what are my goals for you this year? My goals for you are to grow your communication skills for workplace and college, to foster your confidence in your own abilities, and to foster your reflection about your life and about the world around you. We talk a lot about values and your beliefs and those sorts of moral things that are important to you. And the reason we do that is if you don't know what it is you believe as a person, then it's hard to make decisions about your life. I will not try to influence what you believe. I will push you to think about what you believe and be able to defend it in an intellectual, intelligent way. Our grading policy and makeup work. School policy requires that test grades are 60% and that daily grades are 40%. We have a minimum of 3 test grades and 8 daily grades each 6 weeks. We frequently will have more than that. We'll definitely have more daily grades than that. And sometimes we'll have more test grades than 3. I do not drop grades. Everything I grade goes in the grade book. If I decide an assignment was not well created, then I'm not going to grade it. But if you get a grade back on it, it's going in the grade book. But we'll have extra grades, so it should not hurt you. Extra credit is generally not available. Most of our finalized essays that are test grades can be corrected for half credit returned. Late work. For every day that you're late on an assignment, you have an 11-point penalty. You do, for absences, have 2 calendar days to submit the work before the late penalty begins to accrue. Our school policy is that you get 1 day. I'm allowed to give you more than that time, and I do 2 calendar days. Sometimes you need to work on math before you need to work on English, and I'm happy to work with you. Having said that, if you have an issue that interferes with your ability to get work done, you have some sort of family issue, you have a work issue unless it's ongoing and it's all the time, or you have just a lot of work you're trying to make up, if you'll conference with me, I will be happy to work with you and set a date in which that assignment can be due that is reasonable for both of us. But if you don't communicate with me and I don't know you've got an issue going on, I can't help you. Now, if every assignment you're looking for an extension, at some point I have to be fair to everyone and say, you got to figure it out on your own. Integrity. Let's talk about academic integrity. Integrity in general, honesty. All school policies for academic integrity and plagiarism applies. This means if you said you wrote it, you did. If I find out you did not, and I am able to prove that you did not, you will receive a 0 for the assignment. I will have to contact your parents. That is school policy. And depending on the nature of the incident, it may constitute a referral to the office. Generally not, but depending on the instance, that may occur. Having said that, copying answers from a friend on daily work is cheating. It is academic dishonesty, and if I catch you doing that, then we're going to have to deal with that. One of the most important things in this day and age that you can possess is a good reputation, and a reputation for having some integrity, and people will let you go a long way. They'll give you a lot of leeway if you have that. So you need to manage your integrity and your reputation very carefully. All of our work is going through Google Classroom. All of our work is going through Google Classroom. There will be times that I use other programs such as Padlet and our textbook program. However, they will be linked through Google Classroom. And I have a very set structure in Google Classroom in which you need to know where to look for your work and pay attention to those due dates. So let's take a look at how our Google Classroom is going to be organized. Okay, so I have a Google window open up here. When you are working with Google tools, when you're working with Google Classroom, Google Forms, any of the Google world, you need to make sure that you are using Chrome, that's the browser you use. You cannot use Safari or Firefox or Edge or Explorer or any of those things. You must be using Google Chrome. You run into problems. So make sure you've logged into your Google Chrome. Once you have your Chromebook, logging into the Chromebook, you'll be logged into your Google Chrome. So you go up here to your grid where your Google apps are once you've logged in, and you look for Classroom. You can move these things around, by the way, and they will stay put wherever you put them. So I would put Google Classroom as one of the top things. I would then put Gmail, and then maybe my Drive, and then have my calendar up here. So let's go to Classroom. Okay. I've got my night tint on, so don't mind that. So we go to our Classroom, and you'll see there is a stream. Mine doesn't look quite like yours, but you'll see there is the stream on the front page. Many of you are familiar with that. Having said that, the only thing that you're going to see on this front stream is announcements. You will not be able to see your assignments on the front stream the way that many of you have in the past in other classes. I have told it not to do that because of the difficulty in organizing our classroom when we're using it as the way of pushing out work and returning work. So you're going to mostly work in your classwork page. You can always look when you come to the page for announcements, but you're going to be looking for your work in the classroom page. Alright, now we've got a nice bright screen to work with. So you'll see here that right now we have 3 sections in our classwork, and it doesn't matter which class period you're in English. The first thing is going to be our class procedure resources. Now, you will have the course syllabus. You can click on that, and there is a form for you to show your parents and for you to fill out. There will be a hall pass form. It is not on there yet. I've got it as a draft, but hopefully by the time you're seeing this, if you are in person, attending school in person, on site, you will use this hall pass form. It will always be at the top, this section, and you will use the hall pass form to sign out to go to the restroom, or sign back in to go to the restroom, or to the office, or any travel. You will use that to sign out of the room and back in on your device, letting me know, and I will be tracking bathroom usage, that sort of thing, just like if we had a physical sign-out book. So the nice thing about that is you don't have to touch a an iPad or some other device to sign out, the way we've done it in the past. So that's going to always be at the top. The syllabus will be there as well, but once you fill that out with your and your parents' information and showing your parents, then you don't have to go back and look at it unless you want to read something on the syllabus. Remote learners. For those remote learners, these daily warm-ups, everybody does all the same work, whether you're remote or on site. However, for remote learners, the daily warm-ups, which will be graded for everybody, the daily warm-ups are your daily attendance check-in as well. They only take about 5 to 10 minutes, but you have to complete those in order to be counted as present in my class. That is state law that we have to have check-in every day. You don't have to check in at the class time. You have to have checked in when I go to pull attendance. I have to have it updated every morning by 8:30. That means I need you to have done the daily warm-up by 7:30 the next morning in order to be counted as engaged and be counted as present in my class. Having said that, I do not post ahead of time, so you can't go and do a whole bunch of them all at once. Also, it does timestamp, so if you do it late, that shows too. Our first unit, this is where our assignments, our bigger assignments are going to appear, is in Unit 1, Intro to British Lit. And whatever unit we're working on is always going to be right under the daily warm-ups page. And the daily warm-ups will only be displayed for so long before I archive each of those individual warm-ups, so that list doesn't get too long. And it's easy to find the third unit, or where the unit is. So that is how we're going to have our classroom organized. You do need to pay attention to due dates on these assignments in this section. The daily warm-ups are due every day. And that's the basics of how our assignments will work. If you have any questions, you can shoot me an email or ask me in class if you're on site. I'm more than happy to show you that. Okay, so we've looked at Google Classroom. If you have any issues or problems, please let me know. If your class period changes, I'll need to enroll you in the new class, but I can switch you over. We can work through that. I'm planning on us having a great year. It's going to be a year like no other. If you need anything, please shoot me an email or come see me, and I'll be more than happy to meet with you.